Kentucky has reached in 6 straight. As you see their lineup, there's Plotz. We told you about her, their leading home run hitter. First pitch down low, and we're underway here in Columbia. And Grayson, we were talking before we went on the air. You brought up a good point that this time of year, everybody knows what your record is, but they're going to remember what you did lately. And so these last 3 series really become important.
They're very important. You know, this Gamecock squad has a chance to potentially get a national seed. They've played great all year. They've played some tough teams. I think I saw they had 5 series wins against top 20 teams, 4 against top 15. So they're putting themselves in a good position, and they need to right the ship here today and start the series off with a good game here against the Wildcats.
And Hurd falls behind here 3-0, and Wildcats looking to get a base runner early here as Hurd falls behind. Wildcats, similar thing. Kentucky comes in at 27-17, 6-9 in the SEC, which puts them at 12th. Gamecocks at 32-11. Fastball taken for a strike. Gamecocks in 9th place in the league standings. But for Kentucky, they played some good softball as well, but sometimes a victim of the schedule of playing in the SEC. More on that in a moment. 3-1 pitch to Hutchins here. Up high, and a good start for the Wildcats as they get the lead off aboard. Not something you see a lot of from Jory Hurd. Coming into today, 85 strikeouts against just 32 walks, but walks the lead off here.
And that was strength on strength there. Hutchins leads this team with 36 walks, so although Hurd does a good job of limiting, Hutchins does a really good job of getting on base from that leadoff spot.
Here's the first baseman, Lauren Borzoleri. Squares, pulls back, and takes one inside. Hutchins 3 for 3 stealing bases, but this Wildcat team, as we told you, tops in the SEC in sacrifice hits. They do a good job playing small ball. You see her numbers. Chansey in at third. Gets the bunt down. Chansey only played a first, and they get the out there. But this is what Kentucky does well. We'll set the defense for South Carolina. And they're going to have to be fielding a lot of those bunts potentially in this series as they put pressure on the defenses with that small ball. The Gamecocks really with their usual defensive lineup. Vincent made a great play, robbing Clemson of a 3-run home run in the midweek. Lilio's been steady in center as well. Peyton Plotz stands in with a runner at second now and just 1 away. Wildcats looking to strike first. Plotz out of Lexington, Kentucky, their top home run hitter and their leading hitter overall. Pops this one up behind the plate. That'll get out of play.
It'll be interesting to see how they attack Plotz. You know, Coach Witter was talking to us about how they've kind of circled her as the one person they didn't want to beat them on this team. They got an open base right now, but you got 2 strikes on her, so they might try and go for the punch out.
Borzoleri, by the way, with that sacrifice, her 7th of the year. She's tied for 4th in the SEC. And Hurd way ahead here. Yeah, she would love to get a punch out here. As a catcher, talk about what kind of pressure that puts on defenses playing against a team that you know plays a lot of small ball.
Oh, it's a nightmare. If it's a team that especially can bunt, can hit and run, can steal, it's not as easy if you got a team that's going out there trying to hit the 3-run home run, especially as a catcher. You really got to be on your P's and Q's playing against a team like Kentucky.
Just missed the outside corner, says home plate umpire Lyndon Baptiste. 1-2 now to Plotz. Hammered down the left field line, but foul. Good battle here for Plotz, who fell behind early. She's reached in 8 straight. Her 11 home runs this year are tied for the 10th most in single season history at Kentucky. Swing and a miss. Took something off it, and it's a big second out here for Jory Hurd and the Gamecocks, and Hurd changing some speeds there. Take another look.
That's a huge strikeout right there against Plotz, their best hitter. Does a really good job changing speeds and keeping that ball down below the zone.
So 2 outs, runner at second for Allie Blum, the left fielder. Blum, a freshman, native of Indiana. Has a 4-game hit streak coming into today. You'll see her numbers on the year. Checks her swing and a pitch up high. Where's the bunt off the end of the bat? Blum, third leading hitter for the Wildcats this year as a freshman. Over 39 hits, almost half of them for extra bases. 8 doubles, couple of triples, 6 home runs. Not a bad way to start your career. Pops out of the mitt. Runner has to hold as Winter's able to keep it in front. It's a Kentucky team that were road warriors to start the year. Played their first 20 games away from home. A lot of tournaments and popped up behind the plate. That'll hit the screen. But it gets kind of cold in February.
You took the words out of my mouth. I was about to say it was probably pretty cold those first 20 games. They probably didn't mind being on the road.
Did you ever have an early season series at Kentucky?
Oh yeah. My freshman year, that was our first SEC series, and it was freezing up there.
That's fun hitting foul balls, right?
We would never played well up there.
2-2, got her swinging outside, and we're underway. Quincy Lelio, the Oklahoma transfer, who came in as a middle infielder. The Gamecocks were set there, moved to the outfield, and she has been outstanding in this leadoff spot for the Gamecocks. Next pitch off the plate. Lelio. We were talking with Coach Ashley Chastain-Woodard earlier this week, and we were joking, but maybe a little bit serious. You know, her average is down to 400. This is someone who's been hitting in the 420s and higher for a good bunch of the season. Was 0 for 5 in the midweek against Clemson, which you just don't see from her, but said she's handling everything just fine.
Yeah, she said she had to sit her down and say, you know, when you start the season hitting 800, it's going to go down. You're not going to do that all year. So to be still hitting right at 400 this late in the season is remarkable.
Yeah, you see the 33 walks as well. It's 5th in the SEC in free passes, 10th in on-base percentage. Down low, and the Gamecocks get a lead off the board just like the Wildcats did. A free pass. See how the Gamecocks play it. It's been a little bit of an issue for Carson Fall, the freshman, coming into today with the strikeout to walk ratio. This is her 46th walk against 47 strikeouts. Gamecocks have not played a lot of small ball, conversely to what Kentucky does. Gamecocks with just 6 sacrifice hits on the year. That's tied for last. Doesn't mean they won't, but certainly a different style of play as Carly Shelton comes up. Shelton, second leading hitter for the Gamecocks, the sophomore out of Lexington, South Carolina. Takes a strike here. Lelio over at first. 5 out of 7 stealing bases. Gamecocks 13th out of 15 teams in the league stealing bases this year. Coach Ashley Chastain-Woodard likes to say Shelton's even though she's a sophomore, it's more like freshman 2.0 since she started her career a year early, graduating high school a year early. I just can't imagine that.
I can't either.
Now you came
that young and to come in and contribute, it's impressive.
Now you came in as a freshman, played right away, behind the plate. But what's that like going directly from high school to SEC and going in as a starter?
Oh, it's incredibly difficult, and for Carly to do it, foregoing her senior year is, almost unheard of. You don't see that very often.
Flares this one foul.
Shows you what type of talent she has.
Yeah, talented family. As we talked about, the brother plays at Florida, sister plays at Florida Atlantic. Mom and dad played baseball and softball at Charlotte. They had some good times in the backyard growing up.
That's about as much of a sports family as you can have right there. That's impressive.
Hit in the air to center field. Donaldson goes back, makes the grab. for the out. Shelton hit it on the nose, but Donaldson got a good read, and it's the first out in the inning. Shelton had been swinging a good bat as the Gamecocks' leading hitter in SEC play, but denied here. And it brings up the first baseman, Ariana Rhodey, one of 6 transfers that came with Ashley Chastain Woodard from Charlotte, and boy, has she made an impact. The junior first baseman, 3rd on the team in hitting, leading the team in home runs. Takes one inside here. Rhodey tied for 8th in the SEC in home runs with 13, 10th in slugging and 9th in on-base percentage. He's 3rd in walks.
I have a feeling we're not going to see too many balls leave the yard today. That wind is blowing straight in from center field.
Yeah, it's going to take something to get it out of here. Hit off the fist down the left field line. Left fielder Blum makes a nice running grab, and there's 2 away. You could tell Rhodey didn't get the barrel on that one. So 2 down now, brings up the 3rd baseman, Ella Chansey, as Carson Fall, the freshman, trying to work around that leadoff walk. Chansey, another of these Charlotte transfers, has reached straight in 14 straight for the Gamecocks. You see her numbers. Tied for 4th in the SEC with 13 doubles. She was a doubles machine coming out of the gate to begin the season. A high percentage of her hits were doubles. She's since cooled off, as you might have guessed, when SEC play started, but still up there.
Looks like Fall's trying to get in on all these righties.
Yep.
That's where her misses have been so far. South Carolina doing a really good job of laying off those pitches.
That's where she got Rhodey in on the hands, it felt like. Just the sound off the bat.
There it is again.
Yep, got the top corner this time. Fall back to work. 2-hopper through the hole, and a base hit for Ella Chansey to keep the inning alive. They're at 1st and 2nd with 2 down.
Really good job right there from Chansey, forcing Fall to get back out over the big part of the plate. You see that ball's middle, laying off those pitches inside and shooting it right there through the 6-hole.
Hit it where they ain't. So 2 outs, 2 on for Lexi Winters, the catcher. A Charlotte transfer as well, but from nearby Lexington, South Carolina. One of the homegrown heroes, as they talk about, that a good bunch of the transfers that came in grew up in the area in South Carolina, wanted to play here. It didn't work out through their first recruiting cycle, and now they're here and making the most of their opportunity. Winters has been a nice surprise with the bat. Was very good defensively at Charlotte. In fact, was the American Athletic Conference Defensive Player of the Year last year, but only hit .230 as a sophomore. This year hitting well over 300. First of a 3-game series, kind of a late start to the series. Most go Friday, Saturday, Sunday. We got Saturday, Sunday, Monday for this one. Tomorrow night will be late, 6 o'clock. A little conversation with Carissa Hamilton, the catcher, and the pitcher Carson Fall. Maybe make sure they were on the same page signal-wise. Of course, it's different now, where they got the earpieces
technology.
In.
Yep.
Did you have that at Major League level? Was that in yet?
Towards my last 2 years or so of playing, and it was awesome. not having to think about it. They're stealing signs on second or anything. Just hear what the pitch is, get set up, and go from there. But You see about once a game, you'll have some sort of technology difficulty or technological difficulties that slows the game down a little bit, but it helps speed up the game from a sign calling process.
2-2 pitch from Carson Fall to Lexi Winters. Hit down the left field line, curving foul. Had the distance almost, but couldn't straighten it out, just a strike. You never picked up like any kind of AM radio or anything?
No, no. Luckily, it was always on the correct channel.
Okay. Lilio's at second. She led off with a walk. Got to second on the base hit from Ella Chansey. Scoreless here in the first. Swing and a miss, strike three. Big punch out there for Carson Fall. Gamecocks get two on, but they leave them stranded. We've completed one inning of play here in Columbia. We're scoreless between the Gamecocks and the Wildcats. On to the second. Enters the game with a 5-game hitting streak. Jory Hurd, the junior, in the circle for the Gamecocks. Last outing for Hurd, no decision on Tuesday up at Clemson. Was the starter there, went 2 1/3, did not allow a run on 3 hits with 2 strikeouts. Deals a strike here, and it's 1-2. Change of pace up top, 2-2. A lot going on around Carolina Softball Stadium and on campus here today. More on that in a moment. Low and in, runs a full count. You got just over the right field wall, you've got the beach volleyball tournament going on. And then beyond, that's in your screen there, and beyond the first base stands, further to your right, South Carolina is hosting the SEC men's tennis tournament. Payoff pitch hit high and deep to left field. Vinson looks up, it's gone. A solo home run for Cassie Reisner will start the scoring for the Wildcats, her 10th of the year. That was a no-doubter off the bat. Take another look.
Reisner got down into a 2-strike hold, did a good job fighting back to the full count. That's middle right there, and as you said, Brad, that was a no-doubter off the bat. She knew it too.
10th of the year for Reisner, second on the team, her 29th RBI. And it brings up the third baseman, Anna Mock. No chance for Vinson to pull that one back. If you saw Tuesday's game, Emily Vinson out there in left field climbed the wall and pulled back what would have been a 3-run home run for the Tigers, but no chance at that one. Mock comebacker off the pitcher. This could be trouble. Blankenship got her. What a play by the shortstop, Brooke Blankenship. Take another look.
Incredible balance right there from Blankenship, too. It looked like she was maybe going to fall over. Kept her feet right there. Great play.
The typical 1-6-3, right?
Not a double play either. Yeah. 1-6-3 put out.
Second out brings up the catcher, Carissa Hamilton. Takes a strike here, does Hamilton. Junior out of Flat Rock, Indiana. It's the 80th meeting between the two schools. Next pitch up high. Gamecocks lead the series 42-37. Carolina winning 2 of 3 in Lexington last year after the Wildcats had won the previous 5 series against the Gamecocks. See the numbers on the year for Hamilton. He was 1 for 9 against the Gamecocks in that series last year in Lexington. Comes into today's game with a 4-game hitting streak. Low and in, and Hurd falls behind. 3 balls, 1 strike, and that'll draw a conversation with Lexi Winters. What are you telling a pitcher after you give up a long ball? Obviously, it's early in the game. It was a solo shot. What are you telling a pitcher after something like that?
I think a lot of times it depends on the pitcher and their personality. Sometimes you want to get on somebody. Sometimes it's just to calm them down. You know, falling behind 3-1 here, 2 outs, getting towards the bottom of the order, saying, hey, let's not put them on right here. Come right after them.
The 1 pitch missed upstairs, and it's the second walk allowed by Jory Hurd in her second inning of work. Keeps inning alive for the Wildcats. And it'll bring up the 9-hole hitter, the center fielder today, Emery Donaldson, who's been in and out of the starting lineup. Native of Louisville. Takes a strike here. Hamilton at first has not attempted a stolen base this year. Tried to check her swing. It'll appeal to the base umpire, and she did go around. I'm always amazed at how anyone, maybe other than the catcher, can see that in real time, because I never can, especially when I'm watching on TV. I don't know how the base umpires do it. This could be trouble. Slow roller. Chansey will have to put it in her back pocket. Got a 8-foot single. Swinging bunt, but more importantly for the Wildcats, it turns the batting order over.
If you're Donaldson, you'll take that right there, being down in the hole 0-2.
That counts the same as a...
Come away with a base hit.
Yeah, it counts exactly like a screaming line drive, right?
Exactly.
So first and second, back to the top of the order for Allie Hutchins, who walked to lead off the game, was left stranded at second base. Takes a strike here. No chance for Chansey to let that roll foul as it just died. It looked like Donaldson got it off the very end of the bat. Just a little low with that one. Big spot here for Jory Hurd and the Gamecocks. Second time the Wildcats have put a runner in scoring position. Ahead here, a ball and 2 strikes. Hutchins stays alive here, down on the count, trying to get some of the big bats up once again. A run in on the solo shot by Cassie Reisner. Whew, just off the plate there. You can see the catcher Winters held it there a little extra. Down low, one bad one away from loading him up. What's the rule? As long as you don't look back to the umpire, right?
Yeah. you can say anything under your breath as long as you don't look back and show them up.
Runners will be moving on the pitch. The payoff from Jory Hurd. Hit in the air to right center field. Abigail Knight goes back, makes a running grab for out number 3. The Wildcats leave 2 stranded, but the Wildcats' third season in Columbia, started her career at Florida State. Takes a strike here.
Tell you what, Brad, this delayed strike call is throwing me off.
Yep.
As I'm watching, I'm like, that looked like right down the middle.
Yep. You have to tell yourself, wait for it. Ground ball up the middle, and it'll find a hole and into center field for a base hit. The Gamecocks get the lead off the board for the second straight inning, this time with a base hit. Blankenship was 4 for 9 against the Wildcats last year, and off to a good start here.
I mean, you can see her pull those hands in. Good job sticking with the scouting report and knowing that fall is going to be coming inside. Pulled her hands in and shot that ball right back up the middle.
So runner aboard for Abigail Knight, the right fielder. Wildcats in at the corners, anticipating a bunt. Gamecocks don't play a ton of small ball. And as we told you, just 6 sacrifice hits on the year. Knight does not have one. See her numbers, hitting over 300. Now fall way ahead, no balls, 2 strikes. Knight started her career at Boston College, was there for 4 years before going down to Charlotte, and then moved over here to South Carolina with Coach Chastain Woodard for his 6th year. Tried to check her swing. Did she go around? No, she did not. Change of pace, and he'll drop in for a base hit. Went the other way with it, and the Gamecocks have him at first and second with nobody out.
Great piece of hitting right there by Abigail Knight. All-speed pitch. Just shoots it the other way.
Gamecocks have something cooking. Second straight inning, they've had multiple base runners. They left 2 stranded last inning. Here's the DP, Emma Sellers. Sellers, the senior. Been seeing a lot more playing time as of late. Fastball misses low.
Corner infielders are playing way in. They're definitely expecting a bunt. I don't know if South Carolina is going to go to that right here.
Sellers with just 1 sacrifice hit on the year. Did not show bunt in that first pitch. Doesn't show it here and takes a strike.
You gotta love that as a hitter, though. If you're Sellers, that opens up the whole field for you.
Yep.
With them playing in so shallow.
Now she squares, gets a good one down, only plays the first. They get the out there. Her second sacrifice of the year puts them at second and third. Good execution here by Sellers.
You'll see that sometimes where coach will give you one pitch to do some damage, and if you take it or swing and miss or foul it off, then we put the bunt on.
Just the 7th sacrifice overall for the Gamecocks this year. Brings up the 9-hole hitter, the left fielder Emily Vinson. Infield in. Takes a strike here. Vinson struggled with the bat a little bit this year, but if you've seen South Carolina play this year, including the game on Tuesday, her defense keeps her in the lineup. Takes one down low. Vinson, another transfer for the Gamecocks. Came to Columbia from Longwood, where she's been her first 3 years. Was an NFCA Rollings Golden Glove Award winner a couple of seasons ago. They only give 9 of those out in Division I, and she was one of them. Off the plate here. And if you're Carson Fall, this is one you got to go after, right? The 9-hole hitter who's obviously struggled with the bat a little bit. This is where you could use a punch out.
Yeah, you don't want to be facing Quincy Lelio with bases loaded and 1 out.
Infield still in. That one's out of play. Falls 2-2 pitch. Grounded right side. Second baseman Clark has got it. Comes home. Runner gets back to third. Everybody's safe. So Blankenship with the initial break, but able to get back once she saw it was fielded cleanly by Clark. And the Gamecocks have them loaded on the fielder's choice.
And that's just fantastic base running right there. Almost deked her into throwing that ball home. When she sees that ball's released, she hustles back to the bag and is able to get there easily.
Now conversation here to talk to the defense to see how they want to play it. Back to the top of the order with the bases loaded for Quincy Lelio, who drew a walk last inning and was left stranded at second base. Lelio, as we told you, 0 for 5 against Clemson, one of her few 0-fers of the season. And coach said she's swinging the bat well, is actually making good contact. Just need a little bit more line drive, a little more on the ground as opposed to in the air, where she's had more success this year. Lelio got her season off to a terrific start, hit safely in 19 of the first 20 games of the year. The only game she didn't, she had 4 walks.
I'd say that's pretty strong.
Yeah.
Yeah, Lelio not really known for her power, no homers on the year. Getting back to that line drive, level swing.
Infield still in with just 1 out. Off the plate here. Terrific crowd here for game 1 of this series. We're always curious to see how many folks are going to be traveling on Easter weekend. Obviously a lot of folks in Garnet and Black, but Kentucky's brought a lot of fans as well. 1-0. Nips the top of the plate apparently, 1-1. That draws some groans from the Garnet and Black faithful. The umpire's not making friends on either side on those last 2 pitches, right? You can't win. One flared foul, and Fall working way ahead. She could use a punch out here. Gamecocks looking for the equalizer or potentially get the lead for the first time. Time is called here. 1-0 Kentucky. Gamecocks batting with the bases loaded. The 1-2 to Lelio. Popped up middle of the diamond. And that's the second out. Big pop out there for the Wildcats. That'll take a 2-out hit. It takes away the sac fly possibility. Here's the second baseman, Carly Shelton, to try to keep it alive. She flied out to center in the first inning. That'll back the infield up now with 2 outs. Hit in the air to center field. Donaldson right there makes the grab. Gamecocks load the bases, but they come up empty. They've left 5 stranded here in the first 2 innings. Kentucky leads at 1-0 as we head to the third. Borzilleri to lead things off, had a sac bunt in the first inning. Jory Hurd in the circle for her 3rd inning of work, has allowed the 1 run on 2 hits. Has walked 2 and struck out 2. One of the 2 hits, the solo home run last inning by Cassie Reisner. Off the fist, Rohde's got it. Foot race to the bag, and she'll tag it with the glove. Not your typical 3 unassisted.
No. Really good play right here from Rohde. Hurd jams Borzilleri pretty bad right there, and Rohde does a nice job securing the ball. Full extension just in time.
Rohde wearing that mask after she collided with the shortstop in an earlier game this year that caused a facial injury, and she's had to wear that mask ever since, but she was in the lineup the next day. Former high school hockey player is Rohde. She's used to wearing helmets, masks. She's good. Here's Peyton Plotz, the right fielder, a strikeout victim in the first inning. And Jory Hurd way ahead, no balls, 2 strikes here. Just off the plate there. Not a bad 0-2 pitch, though. Plotz 2 for 7 with a triple against the Gamecocks last year in Lexington. Stays alive. She has really been productive with the long ball. 19 career home runs, including 11 this year. She had 4 home runs in 3 games last week. That's a good week.
It's a very good week. That's a good month for some people.
Yeah. Be a good career for me. Spoils another one. You ever get in a groove like that where it just feels like you're swinging at a beach ball? Or
I don't know about like what Peyton Plotz did, but it's a good feeling when you're seeing the ball well and you don't feel like you're off time on anything. And it certainly seems like that's what the last week was for Peyton Plotz.
Change of pace here. Got her. Second time she's got Plotz. Third strikeout for Jory Hurd. First one looking.
Nice off-speed pitch right here. See, it kind of just freezes Plotz on the inside corner.
Second out here. Nobody on for the left fielder, Ellie Blum, a strikeout victim to end the first inning. And Gamecocks going to have the shift on for Blum with Shelton, the second baseman, playing on the other side of the bag.
It's been a little contrary to what Coach Chastain Woodard told us on the call. We're going to pitch Peyton Plotz really carefully. Gotten her with 2 strikeouts here through 3 innings.
Yep.
Sometimes the flow of the game will dictate those decisions as well.
Hit in the air to left field. Vincent goes back. It's over her head and off the wall. Could be extra bases. Here comes the throw. And it's a 2-out double for Ellie Blum. Nice piece of hitting there for Blum, her 9th 2-bagger of the season. One more look.
Yeah, she gets the barrel out front right there and burns Emily Vincent out and left. Not a whole lot Vincent can do there, but play it off the wall and keep her at second.
Well, that's how you beat the shift, right? Hit it over everybody's head. This will draw a visit from Coach Ashley Chastain Woodard. Already some warm-up work in the Gamecock bullpen, and we may already have our first pitching change. You had Sam Gress and Neely Lamb warming up. Second time through the order, and that was a solid double for Blum, the second extra base hit of the afternoon for the Wildcats after that home run by Reisner last inning. The Hurd will stay in there for now. Runner at second with 2 down. Hurd trying to keep the Wildcats where they are. Madison Clark will stand in, the second baseman. She grounded out to her counterpart, Carly Shelton, back in the second inning. Takes a strike. Clark in her first season in Lexington. Started her career at Oregon State when she played 2 years. Good stop by Winters to keep it in front. Wildcats have had runners in scoring position every inning. Hit down the right field line, but foul. Spoiled another one. Wildcats have had some good at-bats today when they're down in the count.
They have. They're doing a really good job of shortening up and just spoiling some good pitches from Hurd until they can get a pitch they can handle.
Comebacker. Nice work by Jory Hurd, and that'll end the frame. 2-out double. Rhodey has reached in 35 straight games for the Gamecocks. one out of the hand and rolls up there. She'll have a good laugh about that back in the dugout, right? We were talking about home run streaks with one of the Kentucky hitters. Brody had a streak earlier this year, 5 straight games with a home run, including a home run in each of the 3 games against nationally ranked Duke on the road. That's a pretty good week as well. Got 13 home runs this year. The single season record at South Carolina is 15. Hit towards the right field line. Plotz coming over, makes a running grab, and that's twice Rhodey has fouled out today. So Fall, the freshman, doing a nice job with the Gamecock slugger. 1 out, nobody on for the third baseman, Ella Chansey, who singled through the left side back in the first inning. That was left stranded there. Hits are even at 3 apiece, but Kentucky leads where it counts with that 1 run. Chansey got her first season with the Gamecocks off to a good start, reached safely in each of the first 22 games. That streak snapped in the final game of the Oklahoma series. Hit down the right field line, but foul. They're talking in the open about how critical these last 3 weeks are in terms of positioning, but you look at the body of work. You mentioned South Carolina, 5 series win over top 20 opponents, 4 of them against top 15, and it's going to be like that almost every weekend in the SEC. You're used to that from baseball as well.
Yeah, and that's a big piece of the puzzle, but kind of the final piece of the puzzle that we touched on in the open as well is what have you done for me lately? This last stretch when the committee's got to make some tough decisions, you want to go into it with a strong showing this last couple of weeks.
2-2 now, the count to Ella Chansey. Just foul. The Gamecocks have SEC series wins over Georgia at LSU when LSU was ranked 3rd nationally. Also took the series against Ole Miss. Their 2 series loss. They lost 3 one-run games at Oklahoma. Lost 2 out of 3 last weekend at Arkansas. Misses low with the fastball. For Kentucky, again, the schedule is unforgiving. Series win, they swept Missouri. Were swept at LSU, took 2 out of 3 from Ole Miss. They were swept at Arkansas, lost 2 out of 3 to Auburn. Payoff pitch. Grounder left side. Reesner's got it. 2 away. Fall trying to retire the Gamecocks in order for the first time today. It's up to the catcher Lexi Winters, a strikeout victim to end the first inning. And breeze blowing in so far this afternoon. Infield back with 2 outs for Winters. Hit in the air to left field. Blum goes back to the warning track. It's over her head and off the wall. Winters is going to chug for second. She's in there with a 2-out double. Winters with her 11th double of the season. And the Gamecocks have had a base runner in scoring position every inning as well.
Another good job right there from Winters, pulling those hands in as Fall continues to try and pitch inside. Kind of turns the left fielder Blum around out there and slides in for a double here with 2 outs.
Get a pinch runner for the catcher as Nia McKnight, a freshman, comes out of the dugout out of Loganville, Georgia. So runner in scoring position with 2 down for Brooke Blankenship. familiar position for the Gamecocks, as again, they've had runners on and in scoring position every inning, but have not had the clutch 2-out hit. Left runners at first and second in the first inning, left them loaded last inning. Blankenship a single up the middle last inning, but was left stranded at third base. Gamecocks have now out-hit the Wildcats 4-3. And Carson Fall continues to throw her best pitches when she's got the pressure on. Way ahead here, no balls and 2 strikes. Off the plate here. Blankenship stays alive. Another 1-2 pitch from Carson Fall. We'll have another one.
Good battle right here from Blankenship. She's done some of her best work this year with runners in scoring position, hitting .357. Got McKnight out there at second.
Yeah, Gamecocks really need a clutch hit here. Have not been able to do that so far with 2 outs today. Way off the plate. One run, 3 hits, no errors for the Wildcats. 0-4-0 for the Gamecocks. Too far outside, and Blankenship has worked a full count. Payoff pitch. Inside, she walked her. Great at bat there by Brooke Blankenship. Just the second free pass issued by the freshman Carson Fall.
Here we are again, Brad. First and second, 2 outs.
Yeah, this has been a recurring theme for South Carolina. They've had multiple base runners every inning. Up to Abigail Knight, the right fielder, who singled in the second inning but was left stranded at second base. McKnight at second, the pinch runner. Blankenship at first. And now a conversation here with Coach Lawson. And we're going to have a pitching change mid-at-bat, it looks like, perhaps. Yep. And we'll tell you about the pitching change when we come back. Gamecocks trying to rally. 2 on with 2 outs. We'll be back in just a moment. Another freshman in the circle for Kentucky as they go to the bullpen for the first time, as Julie Kelly takes over for Carson Fall. She'll inherit runners at first and second with 2 outs and a 1-0 count to Abigail Knight. Kentucky leading it here 1-0 with the Gamecocks still batting in the bottom of the third. Kelly making her 17th appearance of the season. 4-3 with a 3.64 earned run average. in 42 and a third innings, 27 strikeouts, 20 walks. See the overall numbers there. Misses outside, ball gets away. Runners are going to try to move up, and they will. Aggressive base running there. That didn't get too far away from Carissa Hamilton, but Gamecocks off and running very quickly, reading that ball in the dirt.
Yeah, I did not think that was going to, really good job by McKnight. She was on a running start right there, and right when she saw it kick away at all, she was off the third.
May have caught the Wildcats by surprise. 3-0 now, the count on Abigail Knight. That one high and tight. Ball gets away. Runner will come home and we're tied. McKnight making an impact as the pinch runner off the bench.
Pretty easy read right there from McKnight. Easily able to slide in there to beat the toss.
The Gamecocks have tied it up. They've got him at the corners with 2 outs. For Emma Sellers, the DP, that run charge to Carson Fall, the starting pitcher, who so far 2 2/3. That 1 run so far, 4 hits, 2 walks, and a strikeout. Sellers takes a strike here. She had the sac bunt in the second inning. Gamecocks ended up leaving the bases loaded. They at least get a run here in a different fashion.
They'll take it.
Not an RBI hit, but a wild pitch after a walk. This one outside, runner from second will take off, and they'll give her the bag, and making sure Blankenship isn't going anywhere as Abigail Knight will take second.
And that just shows how important that read from Nia McKnight, the previous pitch was,
yes,
to be able to get to third base.
That's an underrated ability to read balls in the dirt that well. 1-1, grounded right side, through the hole into right field. 2 runs will score, and the Gamecocks lead. 2-run single for Emma Sellers as she sneaks it under the glove of Madison Clark, and the Gamecocks with a big 2-out rally.
Yeah, that's exactly what the Gamecocks ordered right there. Finally getting that big knock with 2 outs and runners in scoring position.
That gets the Garnet and Black faithful into it. For Sellers, RBIs 7 and 8 on the season. She's at first with 2 down for Emily Vincent, the left fielder, who reached on a fielder's choice last inning. Takes a strike here.
South Carolina's kind of taking a page out of the Kentucky playbook a little bit.
Yeah.
Putting pressure on the defense. They've had a sac bunt earlier in the game and able to take advantage of a couple of miscues.
Good defensive work there by Kelly, and that'll end the frame. But the Gamecocks strike for 3 runs. They do it on 2 hits. They leave a runner stranded. Gamecocks leading for the first time 3-1 as we again trying to work in on the hands of Reesner. Not going to let her extend again if you can help it after what we saw with that bomb in the second inning.
Now, coming into the game, just looking at the Kentucky lineup, I was curious why Reesner was in the 6 hole with all that power. I think it provides a lot of balance in this lineup. Sometimes you'll see the power hitters stacked together and then it kind of falls off. Having her in the 6 hole provides another punch of power towards the back of the middle part of that lineup.
Yeah, her home run was a no-doubter. Hurd falls behind here 3-0. Deals the automatic there. The 3-1 pitch misses low, and it's a leadoff walk. Third free pass allowed by Jory Hurd. And the Wildcats get the leadoff aboard for the second time today. Brings the tying run to the plate. And looks like we're going to get a pinch hitter in the 7 spot. As Hallie Mitchell, the senior out of Illinois, will grab a bat for the first time.
What do you think, Brad? You think this is a come in and sacrifice bunt?
Well, we'll take a look. Mitchell, .253 hitter, does have 4 home runs on the year. But again, Kentucky leads the SEC in sacrifice hits. They already have one today. Strike on the outside corner. Chansey coming in at third, not taking any chances. Reisner at first after the leadoff walk, has 5 stolen bases as well. Not squaring, takes it up high. Certainly not out of the question with only in the 4th inning to play for a run here. Down low. Again off the plate, and Hurd in danger of putting 2 on with nobody out here. Up the middle, that'll get through for a base hit. Good piece of hitting there by the pinch hitter. And the Wildcats have something cooking here with runners at first and second and nobody out. Carissa Hamilton will stand in, the catcher hitting in the 8th spot. She walked in the 2nd inning, and Coach Ashley Chastain Woodard out of the dugout, and this may be it for Jory Hurd. Has worked herself into a jam here. Allowed just 1 run through 3+ innings, but a walk and a single here to start the 4th inning will chase Jory Hurd from the contest. Got a pitching change here in Columbia as the Gamecocks will go to the bullpen for the first time. They go to the bullpen for the first time. She replaces Jory Hurd. Gress in her first season here in Columbia after transferring from Charlotte. Started her career at NC State. There's the numbers so far on Jory Hurd. Can't close the book on her yet, as she walked the leadoff hitter here in the 4th inning and then gave up a single up the middle. So runners at first and second with nobody out. And Gress will come in to try to put out this fire. Gress will throw a lot of off speed, change up and fastball mostly. Her last outing, she was the losing pitcher in relief against Clemson in the midweek. Went 5 2/3, allowed 2 runs, 6 hits, couple of strikeouts, 1 walk. You see her numbers on the year. Right now, she's looking for a ground ball, perhaps. First and second with nobody out after the Gamecocks had just taken their first lead. Carissa Hamilton at the plate. See if the bunt is on here. You assume it would be with nobody out, and the 8-hole hitter up. And again, the Wildcats leading the SEC in sacrifice hits. Gamecocks will be charging from the corners. She squares, gets the bunt down. Gress only played to first with the wheel on, and they get the out there. Second sacrifice of the day for the Wildcats. Puts 2 in scoring position with just 1 away. Nice execution once again by Kentucky.
Yeah, as you said, Brad, it's just a textbook situation to sack bunt right there. Get the tying run to second with 1 out towards the bottom of the order, and top of the order coming up next.
Yep, Emery Donaldson stands in. She had an excuse me swinging bunt single in the 2nd inning. Infield in. Chops this one foul. She hit one off the end of the bat that trickled about 8 feet up the 3rd base line, and the Gamecocks couldn't do anything with it defensively. And she'll look to turn the order over again. Donaldson, the sophomore, you see her numbers on the year. A little bit high. Gress, they call her grandma because she's the 6th year. More common now with the COVID year and the extra year that folks have gotten, where you've gotten some older players in your lineup.
I can't keep track of it anymore in college sports. I feel like, I think Miami had a tight end that was in his 9th year in college. I mean, who knows anymore?
Trying to work the Gamecocks out of a mess here. Two-one, pop up middle of the infield. This could be trouble, but Shelton is there for a big second out. The infield was playing in, otherwise that's a routine play. And Shelton keeps it from becoming a bloop single behind the bag.
Yeah, that was almost trouble right there. Really nice play from Shelton.
And if you don't read that off the bat quickly, that's it's about a 60-foot single.
Yeah, Donaldson was close to having about a combined 68 feet of singles right there.
Top of the order now, Allie Hutchins, the DP, 0 for 1 with a walk today. Gress got off to a decent start this year, then kind of hit a slump the first half of the season where she really struggled with her command, and then things started to click for her, and she's become really this bulldog out of the bullpen for South Carolina. He has a strike here. Hutchins didn't think so. Off speed, snaps in there for a strike. Ball and 2 strikes, 2 outs, 2 on. Hutchins stays alive. Hutchins, the DP today, plays a lot of third base as well. Upstairs, 2-2. The first 2 reached. And that led the Gamecocks to go to the bullpen, and now Gress trying to put out the fire. Two-two, popped up, middle of the diamond, shortstop Blankenship calls and catches, inning over. Great job by Sam Gress. She retires 3 in a row. Nothing doing for the Wildcats. It's still 3-1 Gamecocks.
The game, Brad, you know, Kentucky started to maybe get a little momentum with those leadoff base runners, and now South Carolina able to give up no runs, and they got the top of the order up. Feel like you can really add on to this lead right here.
Yeah, try to take control of it. Lelia, one who's been the table setter all season, but you want to call it a mini slump for her. 0 for 5 in the midweek against Clemson, 0 for 1 here. And again, her average dipping just below 400 for one of the few times all season long. But she has really been a terrific table setter, transferring from Oklahoma, where she was a middle infielder, and came here. The Gamecocks were set in the middle infield. Gladly moved to the outfield, and he's done a terrific job. Also brings that winning attitude, coming from an Oklahoma team that's won 4 straight national championships. Slaps that one into left field. That'll drop down for a base hit. There you go. And Quincy Lelio will start the Gamecocks off with a single here in the 4th.
Got into a good hitter's count right there. Drives it into left field to start off this bottom of the 4th for the Gamecocks.
Brings up Carly Shelton, the second baseman, who's had 2 good swings but nothing to show for it. Has flied to center twice today, 0 for 2. Takes a strike here. Shelton was the Gamecocks' leading hitter in SEC play coming into the weekend. Slaps that one down the left field line. That'll get down for a base hit. Lelio has to stop at second. But back-to-back singles for the Gamecocks. Have them at first and second with nobody out. Shelton continues to swing a hot bat.
Yeah, momentum's so huge in sports. Gress coming in and getting out of that inning, you can see it just feeds into the offense here the next half inning.
Here's Ariana Rohde. Rohde's looking to put one into play. She's fouled out twice today. Once down the left field line, once down the right field line. Takes one down low. Gamecocks don't bunt a lot, but I would not expect they were bunting with Rhodey at the plate either.
I don't think we're going to see the bunt here.
Leading home run hitter with 13.
Although it would catch him off guard.
Right. At the top of the plate there. Were you ever asked to bunt where you looked back and said, "You sure?"
Yeah, I've bunted a couple times.
All right. Got the outside corner there. Nice work by Kelly on those last two pitches. Got the inside, then the outside corner to get ahead of the Gamecock power hitter, much to the dismay of the Garnet and Black faithful. Foul tipped it, and did she catch it?
I think they're saying it hit the dirt.
Yep, hit the dirt.
Thought I heard two separate sounds there, so I tend to agree.
So Rhodey's still alive. Too far in. Kelly trying to work out of a jam here. Rhodey, last year at Charlotte, was 5th nationally with 22 home runs and hit over 350. Hit down the right field line. Trouble if it's fair. It's a fair ball. Runners had to hold to see if that was going to be caught. Rounding third is Lelio. She'll score as Rhodey chugs into second with an RBI double. Rhodey with her 8th double of the year and 41st RBI to lead the Gamecocks.
Yeah, just a great swing right there with 2 strikes from Rhodey. Gets the ball over the middle of the plate, just sneaks it inside that right field line to drive in a run, and Gamecocks have something cooking here in the bottom of the 4th.
Yeah, Gamecocks the runners had to hold to see if that ball was going to be caught by Plotz out there in right field. Otherwise, 2 might have scored. And we're going to have another pitching change here for the Wildcats as Kentucky will go to their bullpen for the 2nd time today. Gamecocks lead it 4-1. 3rd pitcher of the day coming in. We'll tell you about it when we come back. Sydney Langdon becomes the 3rd pitcher of the day for the Wildcats. The sophomore out of Perry, Georgia, takes over for Kelly. Can't close the books yet on Kelly, but Langdon making her 18th appearance of the year. You see her numbers. Struggled a little bit with the control, 20 strikeouts against 27 walks, and she'll inherit runners at 2nd and 3rd. With nobody out, and the Gamecock cleanup hitter, 3rd baseman Ella Chansey, strides to the plate. Gamecocks looking to add to a 4-1 lead after the RBI double by Ari Rhodey just a moment ago. First pitch inside for ball 1. Chansey 1 for 2, a single in the 1st inning, grounded to short in the 3rd.
She's looked good at the plate today. Even the ground out was well struck. In that same at bat, she fouled off 2 balls, 1 down each line that were all on the barrel. So she's been seeing the ball very well today.
Good stop by the catcher Hamilton to keep that one and to come out of the crouch. Pinch runner at 2nd base, by the way, for the Gamecocks, as it looks like Chloe Lackey is running for Rhodey at 2nd base. There's a strike at the letters. I think Chansey was going to make her throw a strike. Hit foul, and that'll even the count. Big spot. Gamecocks trying to blow things open here after trailing early 1-0. They got 3 in the 3rd, 1 so far here in the 4th, and threatening for more. Just off the plate. Home plate umpire Lyndon Baptiste has been pretty consistent with his zone today, and that's all you want.
He has. The one thing I've noticed is early in the count, he'll expand a little bit. When it gets to 2 strikes, he's calling it pretty true, which he did right there as well.
Good at bat for Chansey as she coaxes a walk here, and the bases are full of Gamecocks with nobody out. Brings up the catcher Lexi Winters, who doubled and her pinch runner scored last inning. She also struck out to end the first. And if you're Winters right now with nobody out, you just want to get this out of the infield. Infield creeps in, and the first pitch taken for a strike.
Yeah, Lexi's going to be looking for something up in the zone. Langdon's going to try and maybe mix that change up in something she's going to beat into the ground. You want to see this ball up.
Too far in there.
Sure, she would take a replica of her last at bat.
Absolutely. One through the right side for a base hit. 1 run will score. They'll hold Lackey at third, and the Gamecocks lead it 5-1. 5 straight have reached for the Gamecocks here in the fourth.
That's just 5 excellent at bats to start off the fourth inning right here. Takes that pitch off the plate away and doesn't try and do too much, just shoots it right past the first baseman.
For Winters, her 39th run batted in of the year. Brings up Brooke Blankenship, the shortstop. Has reached twice today, a single up the middle and a walk. She's also scored a run. Takes one off the plate here. Bases still loaded, still nobody out for the Gamecocks. Langdon back to work. Hit down the right field line, but that'll hit the screen. Langdon out of Perry, Georgia, which is not far from Macon in the middle of the state. 2-time high school pitcher of the year out of Westfield High School. She did pitch against the Gamecocks last year in game 1 when an inning and a third, but was tagged for 4 runs on 5 hits, had 5 walks. Chopper left side. Third baseman Mox got it, throws to first. They get the out, but a run will score. So Blankenship does the job on the RBI ground out, and the Gamecocks add to their lead. Lackey, the pinch runner, scores from third. And now they're at second and third with 1 down. For Abigail Knight, the right fielder. Got the outside corner. Back-to-back 3-run innings for South Carolina. Gets away, runner will hold. Knight singled in the second inning, walked, stole a base, and scored in the third. Nips the outside corner. Langdon nipping at the corners pretty well. Way ahead of Abigail Knight here. Off the glove, and that's going to be trouble. Run will score. Everybody's safe. It'll be an infield single for Knight. Off the glove. Tough luck for Sydney Langdon.
It's just been so many quality at bats up and down this Gamecock order. Abigail Knight having a day, 2 for 2 with a walk. Drives in the run right there.
So Knight with an RBI. Her 28th of the year. And the Gamecocks lead it 7-1. Brings up the DP, Emma Sellers. Sellers, a 2-run single in her last trip in the third inning. Also had a sac bunt in the second. So a productive day out of the 8th spot in your lineup already. Ground ball left side, off the glove of Mock. Everybody's going to be safe, and it's starting to unwind a little bit for Kentucky. Had the tough luck on the previous at-bat that went off the pitcher's glove for an infield single. And that one, third baseman Mock just couldn't come up with it. Coach Rachel Lawson out of the dugout to try to settle things down. We're going to get a pinch hitter in the 9 spot as Natalie Heath has grabbed a bat. She's been the DP a good chunk of the season, but then went into a little bit of slump and was replaced by Sellers, who's obviously been productive. So Big Bat Nat, as they call her, will try to have the big bat here, at least get one out of the infield and add to this lead. The redshirt junior from Sharpsburg, Georgia, has been a nice story. Has overcome a bunch of injuries in her career, only had 5 career at-bats coming into this season. And this year, putting up some decent numbers, hitting at .289. And is second on the team with 6 home runs, also has 7 doubles. And she'll try to be productive here with the bases full of Gamecocks and just 1 out. Down low. There's a strike. Last play was an error, charged to the third baseman, first of the game. It was a hot shot to third. That went off of Allie Hutchins, who's actually playing third now in place of Mock.
Same thing here for Heath as Lexi Winters has. You're looking something up in the zone. Just frees you up as a hitter. You can eliminate the bottom half of the zone. Not even thinking about swinging at that.
All right, 3-1. You assume the bat's on the shoulder here unless she puts it on the tee for you, right? Or do you even have a green light at all?
I think you're looking for one pitch, one location. If it's not there, take it and pass it on.
That hits her, and it'll drive in a run. And the Gamecocks now lead 8-1 as Natalie Heath drives in her 21st of the year. 7th time she's been hit this year. And the Gamecocks have batted around here in the 4th. Winters scores from third. Gamecocks have played at 5 here.
You might see a challenge. Looks like.
And they might review to see if the arm was over the plate. It'll be our first review of the day, and we'll wait and see. Yep, they will take a... Well, they'll let Ashley Chastain Woodard know what the deal is. Gamecocks, in the meantime, are going to re-enter Vinson to take her place and run for Heath, who was pinch hitting for her.
It didn't look like she leaned that elbow out at all.
Yep. Yeah, no review here. So bases loaded, still 1 out. Back to the top of the order for Quincy Lelio, who started off the inning with a single and came around to score the first of 5 runs. Kentucky had an early 1-0 lead in the second, but the Gamecocks have scored 3 in the third, 5 so far here in the 4th. Lelio takes a strike, 1 for 2 with that single earlier this inning. Chopper over the circle, off the glove of the second base, and a run will score, and the Gamecocks lead it 9-1. It'll go as an infield single, I presume, but for Kentucky, some tough breaks in this inning. You've had several balls in the infield, not necessarily errors, but just couldn't make the play.
Yeah, not hard hit balls necessarily, just perfectly placed. This one, even if it's fielded cleanly, I think it's going to be a tough play. That ball's got a lot of top spin. And it's been a bit of a merry-go-round here for the Gamecocks in the bottom of the 4th.
Carly Shelton stands in, 1 for 3, a single and a run scored earlier this inning.
Beautiful things happen when you put the ball in play.
Yeah, they do. That's what I tell my son all the time.
And South Carolina doing a great job of it. Only 1 strikeout on the day back in the first inning.
Yep. 9 runs on 11 hits. That one squibbed foul by Shelton, who again has been the Gamecocks' leading hitter in SEC play.
Going back to the top of that 4th inning, I think Sam Gress coming in and getting those 2 huge outs. If they score right there and tie it up, the whole feeling of this game changes.
Yeah, you're right. Going back to the top of the inning, they had runners at 2 runners on with nobody out, and Gress retires the next 3 to get out of it. Shelton fouls that one out of play. And Langdon at least ahead, a ball and 2 strikes. And with the tough luck that Kentucky's had, with some of the balls hit in the infield, this game can eat you up like that.
It can snowball quickly.
Yep. 1-2 off the fist into left field. It's going to drop for what could be extra bases. 2 runs will score. Lely around third. She will score. Throw to third is in time. But the Gamecocks will add 3 more on the bases clearing double as it stands by Carly Shelton. We'll take another look.
South Carolina is challenging the call at third base. The call was the runner was out. That play is under video review.
It's at least a 3-run double for Carly Shelton.
Let's see here. She was convinced she got in under the tag. Oh, she might be right.
Can't see where the glove came down on her there. The foot was definitely on the bag, not touched. Ooh, look at seeing another view on our video board here.
She's calling safe.
Yeah,
she's sliding.
She may have beaten it. And again, the initial call was out. So now you have to have that indisputable evidence. As we are in our first review. 3 RBI for Shelton. Gives her 33 on the season. She already leads the SEC with 16 doubles, so this could be a double and an out, or it could be a triple. I think she's in there.
I do too.
Looks to me like she beat the rap at third. The 3 runs will definitely count to make it 12-1.
The game always has a way of evening itself out. Shelton smoked the 2 line outs to center field, and then she gets a bloop, potentially bases clearing triple right here.
Umpires microphone.
After video review, the call on the field has been changed. Runner is safe. That's South Carolina's first charge challenge.
So Shelton gets a triple out of the deal, I guess. Still gets the 3 runs batted in, and the Gamecocks have blown this thing open with a 9 spot here in the 4th. Still just 1 out. But you're right, the momentum of this game changed in the top half of this inning when Kentucky had a chance to tie it with 2 on and nobody out.
Yeah, every game usually has one breaking point that determines how it's going to go, and that was, I think, the spot for this game.
Ari Rhodey will take a strike here. Doubled earlier this inning to drive in a run. Her pinch runner would come around to score. Obviously, they re-entered. 1 for 3 day for Rhodey. Pops this one up out of play. That'll reach the top of the seats. Off the plate here. Sydney Langdon, 3rd pitcher of the game. This is the last hitter she had not faced. Came in earlier this inning after the first 3 reached. Hit in the air to center field. Donaldson comes over, makes the grab. Shelton will tag and score from 3rd, and it's 13-1 as Rhodey has another RBI. 42nd RBI in the season on the sac fly, her 4th sac fly of the year.
That's a dream hitting scenario as a hitter. Run around third, less than 2 outs. Again, you're looking for something up that you can elevate. Rody's easily able to drive in Shelton from third with the sac fly.
10 runs here in the fourth. 2 outs for Ella Chansey, the third baseman. She was the first hitter that Langdon faced this inning. She drew a walk and would later score. Gamecocks have done a good job of putting it in play. They've had some hard hit balls and also some tough luck for Kentucky on some balls in the infield that went as infield hits. You had the comebacker off the glove of the pitcher. Nothing you can do about that. And another play off the glove of the second baseman. He had an error at third. This is just game one of the series. Again, this is a Saturday, Sunday, Monday series. Up high, and for the second time this inning, Chansey draws a walk from Langdon.
Yeah, it's pretty cool hearing Coach Chastain Woodard talking about her husband's going to get to come watch some of the games, be here on Easter weekend, and she also got to go to the baseball game.
Yep, and her husband, for those who don't know, is the head baseball coach at Charlotte, where they both used to work together. Here's Lexi Winters, the catcher. He's had a good day already, 2 for 3. RBI single earlier this inning. Also a double, a couple of runs scored, and a strikeout in the first inning. And the Charlotte baseball team doing very well in the American Athletic Conference. 0-1 pitch, fouled off right side. That'll reach the seats. But yeah, they must not see each other at all on weekends.
No.
Between traveling and even home games for baseball and softball, where you're playing usually Friday, Saturday, Sunday. They're just, two ships in the night passing, right?
Yeah, while it's an odd schedule this weekend going Saturday, Sunday, Monday, I'm sure they're enjoying getting to actually spend some time together.
0-2 to Winters. Hit in the air to right center. That's going to drop down for extra bases. Chansey around third. She will score. It's an RBI double for Lexi Winters. And the Gamecocks lead it 13-1, an 11 spot here in the fourth inning. Second double of the day for Lexi Winters, her 12th of the year.
Just a textbook piece of hitting right here. Keeps her head and chest over the plate and drives this ball hard into the right center gap, easily scoring Chansey.
Here's the shortstop, Brooke Blankenship, who had an RBI ground out earlier this inning. She's 1 for 2 with a walk today. She is the 15th hitter to come to the plate this inning. A generous strike there.
We might see the home plate umpire expand just a little bit now.
With a 13-run lead, getting hot out there. Blankenship a little late on that cut. Game 2 of the series tomorrow night at 6 o'clock. Series finale Monday night. The only downside, if there is one, maybe not as big a factor in softball as baseball, but the other pitcher in the dugout is looking at their watch going, I need to warm up again.
I mean, it's probably been a, 30-minute inning?
Yeah, but you'll take that as a pitcher, right? You don't mind.
Oh, yeah. You'll take the 13-run cushion.
Strikeout here will end the frame as Blankenship goes down swinging, but the Gamecocks score 11 runs in the fourth inning. They lead it 14. Baseman had a sac bunt in the first inning, grounded out to first in the third inning on a nice play by Ariana Rohde. And if you're Sam Gress in South Carolina, you just want to get back in the dugout and go home with a run roll win. Kentucky obviously wants to extend the game.
And at the same time, you don't want to rest on your laurels and say, oh, we got a 13-run lead. Still want to make quality pitches.
Shelton, easy play there, one away. Yeah, it's easy to get distracted when you've got the, I would imagine when you've got the big lead and you're out there in the field, you've been in the dugout for a while. Peyton Plotz will stand in. She's 0 for 2 with a couple of strikeouts. This is her first time seeing Sam Grass. She's the leading home run hitter for these Wildcats. It has been held in check so far today. She's had a terrific season, hitting .350 with 11 long balls, over 40 RBI. Nice changeup in there for Grass. If there was any question whether Peyton Plotz was going to go to Kentucky, her mom played volleyball and her dad played baseball for the Wildcats. I think that was a no-brainer.
I can relate to that. She's become a star, only a sophomore.
Yep.
Had great numbers last year and even better this year.
Two balls and a strike now, 1 out, bases empty. Popped up, left side, Blankenship calls and catches, there's 2 away. Wildcats down to their last out, potentially here in game 1. Allie Blum set to stand in, the left fielder. 1 for 2 today as one of their 4 hits, a double in her last trip in the 3rd inning, also a strikeout victim in the 1st. Gamecocks have the shift on for her with 3 infielders on the left side. I hadn't seen that a lot in softball until this year. You've seen it in baseball over the years, and Coach Ashley Chastain-Woodard has employed that a few times this year.
The amount of data you have nowadays helps inform some of these decisions.
Off the fist, this could be trouble. No, Emily Vincent is there, and that'll do it. A 1-2-3 inning for the first time today, and the Gamecocks take game 1 of this series as they knock off the Kentucky Wildcats in 5 innings, 14-1 to improve to 32-11, 8-8 in the SEC. Kentucky drops to 27-18, 6-10. Gotta like what you saw, good bounce back day for the Gamecocks.
Yeah, we had a real tight there game going into the middle innings, and that 4th inning was just incredible. Quality at bat after quality at bat, putting the ball in play and putting pressure on this defense. Good first win for the Gamecocks.
Gamecocks